Two, 1, 2. I'm going to be going over Binance Coin, specifically trying to mark up the analysis similar to how I have on my top 3 Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the total market cap. I have measured the bullish impulses that have broken out to the all-time high and how price has retraced and told a story back down to where we are currently. So I've done that for once again on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but nothing on Binance. So I'm going to do that for Binance now. The first thing we want to do is identify our highs and lows. So I'm going to identify this right here as my low. Let's make that like that. Let's make that black. And I'm going to identify this as my high. And I'm also going to recognize this intermediate low down here. Now, currently I'm on the daily time frame, but this is just for visual purposes right now. And I'm going to measure with the Fibonacci from the bottom, not this wick. I guess I'll go from this wick. I'll go from the bottom of this wick up into the closure of this highest bullish candle. Now, let me zoom in to be specific. This candle right here is the candle I'm looking at, right? This one right here. And instead of me drawing my Fibonacci, instead of me drawing it up here, it's got a wick at the end of the candle, and the wicks can be subjective to whatever time frame that you may currently be on. So I may be over here or here or here or here or here or here. What is not subjective is the closure of the candle. Now, that will be subjective to the time frame that you're on, but it'll be a better average rather than a wick, because the actual closure is where the meat lies. So I take it to the closure of there. I'm going to take that fib, and we're going to draw another fib, but not until later. I'm going to come on here and turn the background off. And we're actually going to turn our prices on for this fib. And the main thing I'm going to do is draw my boxes, because these boxes are going to represent the zones that are active and not active with price. So in this first fib, we can see that price is currently at the 786.886, has passed the the daily time frame. Here we go. Okay. I was wondering, okay, price has passed the 350 and 618 retracement, is now in 786.886. I want to see for the, so I do have it, but not on Ethereum. So I'll draw it on this one. We're going to draw another bigger fib as well, from that low all the way down, once again, to the closure of the candle. Now, just in case you're confused, from this low all the way up here, price rallied, retraced, and then continued its rally all the way up into the all-time high. Now, since it did retrace here, I'm going to redraw 2 arrows indicating that the 2 different Fibonacci's that are on the screen as well. But I'll turn all of these for this one off and just leave like that, and we'll make this one thicker so we know the difference. So the main thing that I want to have on is this 618, 786. I'm going to turn off the wrong thing. The levels 618, the 786, and the 886. And just so we're clear on what the actual deeper purple zone is, make that 4. We're going to make this only visual on the higher time frames, not even on the daily, on the 3-day and up. Same thing for this 618 to the 50% parlay right there. And the reason I'm doing this is because those buy zones are crucial, especially when you get to the higher time frame. When everything starts to align in and I draw the whole picture together, it'll start to make sense. We got to go one thing at a time right now. Since we are timed, I'm trying to hurry it up. 4:44 in sync. So now I'm going to actually bring on the EMAs, the indicators, so we can really see what's going on. So if I were to replay price from the all-time high, we can see what happened. All right. So we had our all-time high, and then here we had our first break. So if you see this yellow cloud here, this is just representing the trend. Okay. And if you see price broke that yellow cloud and came straight to this aqua EMA. That aqua EMA is my 50 EMA, and I'm using that to represent my pretty much halfway point. When the price breaks that aqua, that is going to be an indication for me that price is going bearish. So I'm going to draw a trend line now from the top of the trend, which here is kind of hesitant to say, so I'll just choose this one for whatever reason. And I'll mark that as my downward bearish trend. Now, this may change, this may be subjective, but I'm just making this as I go. And it's okay to change your analysis to adapt with what the market tells you. You may not have one solid thing the whole time. And notice how prices came back and reacted here. Okay, that's not a coincidence off that trend. So now let's see. Okay, boom. Price is now giving us closures deeper into the 50%. So this is how you would have played this 50% zone, the 618. You see price broke it. Okay, it did not show any type of strength until it came deeper into the bigger 618. And I'm going to actually go ahead and mark this because this is important to know. This is our major 618. That's our major 618. And this is our minor. And our major and minor just simply represent, they represent which strength, which 618 is stronger. So the minor came from the smaller retracement, the inner move, and the major came from the bigger one. Pretty obvious, right? So I'll kind of critique that as we go, since this is a video. So we'll keep going, right? I actually fast forwarded because it's pretty self-explanatory. What happens from there? After we came to the 786, notice how we've held, we're still holding, and now notice where we are right here. I'm going to make this more visual. We're right here at this bearish trend where price broke down here from our first time in the aqua EMA. I'm going to actually make this a yellow circle because this was the first time that price actually broke, and then price came back and didn't fully come back to the aqua EMA here, but it came back and retraced above these different color EMAs. I'll explain those later for another video. Stay tuned. And I'm going to mark this circle red. I'm going to mark this one red. Actually, I'm just going to mark this as one big giant red circle. Because on the, let's go to the 12-hour. Boom, here we are. On the 12-hour time frame, do you see, let's hide our drawings. Do you see how price is rejecting this aqua line? That is what we want to see on the daily time frame. But on the bullish perspective, we were trying to buy. So once again, if I go to the lower time frame and you see it rejecting, how it came back, gave some strength, loaded here, kind of gave you like a double top scenario before it started to rally down. This is how I was able to identify the structure here. So when I mark these down arrows, they're just representations of price rejecting the trend, where the sellers came into the market and the buyers were no longer able to maintain strength. And here we are about to come into what looks like another test. These tests are crucial because every time price comes up here and test it, this trend is either going to get stronger or weaker. Sooner or later, it's going to break. A great analysis example real quick is Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, if I go like a 12-hour and I hide that one. Okay, so Bitcoin right now, if you notice, I have my indicators, broke this red trend, this red dash bearish trend line, broke it, retested it, and ever since it retested, I've had this here since February the 22nd. I said, see if this price is going to hold. Pretty much around Valentine's Day, came up at the end of the month, March 1st, came into this 42K zone, this 886, 786, perfectly held it, and then rejected it back down. And now you see price is not trying to stay down here below 30K. The buyers are holding their zone, coming straight. You already know where they're coming, right back into that monthly open. So this is a great analysis. This is a great visual representation on Bitcoin. I want to have this same perspective now on Binance Coin. So let's continue further here. There's some little more things we can add. For instance, we can measure out the representation of the bearish moves. So when price falls, it doesn't just free fall, right? It actually moves in waves. So this is the first wave I see. I see a second wave, and then this is a third wave. Now, without me just drawing those blindly, I'll actually try to make it make sense pretty fast since we're running out of time. If you see here, price gave you a bearish retrace, right? Coming down right in here. Okay, so it's pretty much more like this. And then price retraced up here. So it's actually multiple because that is one. So I'm going to duplicate it from when price came from this high to this low and then retrace into where that yellow circle is. And I'm going to duplicate that circle and drag it down here. Notice how it is literally almost the same exact size because it's a replication, a duplication of the trend. Price buyers came back into the market, trying to get close as it can to that 50 EMA, but the sellers were just too strong. It couldn't even balance itself halfway. And that's where we see market came down, similar extending. Notice how it extends further and further. Notice how the closure, see how I was talking about the closure of the candle is right here. But notice how the wicks are extending a little bit further. That's why the wicks don't really matter. They just show you what price is doing and where it's heading, where it touched, because that touch on the 786 is important, but you just got to know where you are in the trend. So I see that we have had 3 bearish waves down. Looks like we've had a fourth one, but this fourth one wasn't even as strong enough to break the low. The wick did technically break it. It captured some lows, some liquidity lows on a lower time frame, but I'm not even going to draw that as an arrow because what I'm looking up for is this bullish replication. We're trying to see this buy duplicate over and roll over and do something like that. That is what we're looking for because that is going to give us the trade setup really on what we need. Right where that black circle is here, if we go to the 12-hour, you're going to see this trend be tested. This red trend line be tested right here at the level of that, right there at that major 618. What is this, that 408? Yeah, 408. So we need to see how price reacts to 408. Is it going to be able to break it or is it going to hold it? Looks like the structure of this bullish trend is right here. So when price comes back to test this minor trend, if it reaches back this low, we want to see price pretty much stay above, what is this, 370, 380. We'll just call it 380. Can price stay above 380? That is the plan. Stand. But pretty much that was the market of Binance Coin. Wanted to just give you a visual representation of where the market is going and how it looks, similar to how we have on Ethereum and Binance Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin just gave a nice bullish impulse out of this 618 50% golden ratio zone. A little bit lower beneath its minor 618. Major 618. I don't even have it on this chart. But if we go to the total market cap right here is right below the minus 620. This is what I was actually trying to explain. It did break out of this yellow circle right here. This yellow circle was coming down, looking like it was going to close bearish on the 12-hour right now. If we go to the daily time frame, you see that price actually did close bearish. This is the lowest closing candle that we have had, marking the trend. We've had, if I just give you a visualization, we had our first candle, our second candle, and our third candle. And these are our 3 lowest candles that the price has closed. So now we want to see pretty much this trend hold. We want to see this blue arrow The blue dashed arrow coming from this low to this high. This high I like to draw my trends. 2 touches. It did give a false breakout. Now price is coming and holding in. We're finally looking like we're going to get a breakout of this wedge. If I hide everything on the chart, have a low, high, looking like it's giving us a 5 count wave. Origin 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, you would count it like coming from up here. Your impulse down to origin 1, 2, 3, 4. So this might be our 5 count wave for our nice bullish impulsive wave out. That would be amazing. Hopefully that is what we see. But we'll see how we go. One thing at a time. This video is specifically for Binance Coin. Let's see how that same implementation of what I just analyzed on a total market cap can maybe come over and do something like that. Who knows? But we will definitely be patient in watching the markets and going step by step as we get there. If you have any questions, give a comment below. Thank you for taking the time out of the day to watch this video. My name is Trev. Once again, appreciate it. Love. Peace.